Welcome back everyone to Hills Mill Homestead. Today I'm out here in my original first raised bed. I'm going to show you a picture up in the corner. I'll throw a picture in of when I first bought this place, and I temporarily built a raised bed, but this is the original raised bed here on the homestead that I started with, and over time I've just continued to improve the soil. So anyway, this is my little, what I call my garden snack salad bar. You can see I've got a lot of different things. Celery, it's doing okay. Got a lot of different types of lettuce and spinach and broccoli. And oh my gosh, you want to talk about pest pressure on my broccoli. Look at this. I am so upset. I am having a pest problem with my broccoli. Now, you leave me a comment down below and you tell me what's been eating my broccoli. That looks like a doggone deer. But you know what? Hey, we're out here in what I call my live salad bar, out here with my hoop houses. And I've had a lot of comments and questions about how I built these and what the material list is and all of that. And so today I'm going to show you, I'm going to reverse engineer this one, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very simple. Just keep in mind whenever I'm building something here on the homestead, I'm not just directly trying to solve one issue. And I'll give you an example. So when I built this has a multi-purpose. Now, when I first planted the cold stuff, my brassicas and all my onions, we were still having well below freezing temperatures and even snow. So I used these hoop houses to cover it up to keep them from at least being snowed on and frozen. But in addition, these hoop houses I use over my shade house. And you've seen some videos, if you've seen the previous videos, you've seen the shade house area. And when I'm doing a lot of propagation in different tubs through the winter, I'll use these hoop houses and slide all of the tubs up underneath, so they're not getting, they're out in the open. They're going to get whatever the ambient temperature is what they're going to get, but they're not going to actually be frozen in place by snow or sleet and all that. So that's a multi-purpose that I use along with out here in the garden. But here's another purpose that I have for them. So I have a insect screen that now that the temperature has came up, I'm going to remove this frost cloth and I'm going to put an insect screen over it on all of my broccolis and lettuces and all that, and try to hold down the pressure of any pest from eating my salad bar. So this video is about, I'm going to show you how I built these hoop houses. I'm going to show you the material list, and this may help you out. I know I've had a lot of comments about it, and so I'm also going to make a material list and probably some pictures here pretty soon, that if you want to know more about a material list and actual instructions on paper, as the old saying goes, I'll put pencil to paper, and then if you want it, just let me know and I'll send it to you. But for the video part, I'm going to show you how I'm going to take this one apart and show you how it's built. So to keep things simple, basically this is 3 10-foot 2x4s, and these are pressure treated. I just happen to have them. I didn't go and purchase them on purpose. But for the idea of this hoop, I found this PEX pipe at Lowe's. It was on a discount, and a whole roll I think was like $8 or $10, and I just knew that I would use that somewhere in the future, and so I just purchased it, and this is what I've used it for. So I'm going to show you that, and I'll give you the measurements and all of this for the 2x4s, but this is how simple this is. I just put a nail into the wood at a little bit of an angle, and I just slip those over. So that's pretty simple. Follow along. We'll go all the way to the end. But you can see that I have this nail that is bent backwards just a little bit, because I want to keep some pressure on that PEX when it goes down, because I don't want the wind or whatever just knocking it off. However, we're going to take care of that also. So as I'm going to take this apart, I'm going to show you how simple it is. Now these nails are about every 2 feet. So that makes your hoops about every 2 feet. And let me just say this on the ends. This is a little bit of a trick. So as I'm taking this apart, you'll have a good idea of how I built it. And like I said, I can send you a drawing and instructions and material list and all that. But as you've seen, I just take these off of the nails. You see I've got these nails, you can use screws, but I just put them in a little bit of a backwards angle just to make them more secure. But on this end, now this is very important. Can you see the end down here? So I have a stake, just a piece of scrap, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that zip tie. You see I've got a hole drilled through it. You see that I've got this stake below my little pecs because I don't want it to be, any of the cloth to be rubbing on that and to make a hole. Now this is important. I have a screw attached I have that screw attaching that piece of wood to this frame. And I'm going to tell you the purpose behind that. I've also have this driven into the ground a little bit, about that far, because when you pull your cloth across this and you try to secure the ends, if you don't have something stable on the ends, it's going to pull the loops, and it's going to be very hard to keep it really nice and tight where the wind's not going to blow it away or affect it. So a little simple stake, one screw. I drilled a hole in the top to attach the zip tie where the little stick is underneath the pecs, and that's that. And you can just lift these right off. I'll give you the measurement of these. Now let me tell you this. So this is a raised bed. We do a lot of raised beds here at Hills Mill. And one of the things I love about it, especially the older you get, it's easier on your back to be able to work into your raised beds. So I can actually reach pretty much all the way to the other side. I can reach anything I have growing in here. Now, I bought the freeze and the frost cover, and it comes in a 6-foot row. When I was 6 foot wide, I think it's 100 feet long. So ideally, when I was building this hoop house, I didn't want to waste any material, so I wanted to build the hoop house to the material. So I'm going to show you the details about this. And you're going to see that I have it as a multi-purpose. There's no material waste, and it's very inexpensive for everyone to be able to do this. And if you're even in colder climates than here in Tennessee in Zone 7, these are going to be very, very useful for you. And then even after the cold weather, you can apply the insect cloths, and that way you don't have to worry about the pressure from all the insects. So I'm going to go to this other side. And that's what a lot of the questions have been, is how I have this attached. So I'm going to go to the other side and take this off so I can show you. So I went and took the other side off, and a lot of you ask how I attach this to the actual frame. And you know, let me say this. I do get a lot of comments and questions, and I really enjoy those, and send all you want. You know, if you have some questions, leave them in the comments or an email. But recently I've been getting some comments and messages that when I put a video out, they're not getting a notification. So you might want to click that notification. If you're not a subscriber and you're new to the channel, we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel, but click the notification as well, and that way you'll be notified when the next video comes out. I'm already working on the next video, and we're going to be talking a lot more about raised beds. But as far as this goes, I've got this cover off, and I want to show you. It's real simple. That I just took a little 1x2, and I took the cloth, and I just used a staple gun, and I stapled it to this 1x2 on both sides. There's 2 of these, and then I just turned those under to capture the cloth against the bed, and then I put a screw into it, and that way the cloth, the wind can't take it away. Now keep in mind, this is a 10-foot bed, but as far as the freeze and frost cloth, It's actually about 16 feet length because you need at least 2.5 to 3 feet on each end to be able to pull it down and completely close it off. So let me get these out of the way. I'm gonna lay these right here beside everything else. Nice and neat. And there's that. Now, I'm going to continue taking this frame apart. I've just got a couple of screws in each one. You know, I'm going to say this. When I build something, if it's not permanent and never ever going to be used anywhere else or taken apart, I'll use heavy duty nails. But if it's something that is going to be a multi-purpose, I always use screws, and that way you can easily take it apart. And that's that. But take a look one more time at the top of this where I've got these nails every 2 feet, and you can see that I've got them slanted backwards just a little bit, just to get a little more pressure on those little hoops. So let's see what we got here. These are the onions that I planted, if you've seen that video. And so they no longer need any kind of protection. So that's the reason I'm disassembling this hoop. And it can be used somewhere else if necessary. So there you have it, and you can see my little material list. There's really not a lot to it, but goodness gracious, these hoop houses really can come in handy, especially if you're in a really cold area and you're trying to get things planted early. I really love these. I've been using them several years, and like I said, I've been using them in the shade house. And I'm going to add a insect cover to this one. I'm going to let it stay out a little bit longer. I've got a little pressure from Pest, and mainly it's called a quack duck. It's getting into my broccoli, and that's not good. So I hope you enjoyed this video for the instructions and the material list of how I built this little hoop house. I hope that's been helpful. So if you can find some of our content that's helpful for you and your homestead, we hope you'll subscribe to our channel. And as always, I love the comments. Leave me some comments. As far as our electroculture for the garden, our electroculture for the orchard, we're going to have another video coming up pretty soon. The orchard is really doing good this year so far. If you want to know more about electroculture, visit our website, hillsmill.com, where you can purchase the antennas, and we have other products on there as well. But also, if you want to know more information, if you want a material list and all the correct measurements for this hoop house, just let me know, and we'll try to get that out to you. But we're working on the next video. I hope you're having a great day, and thank you for watching.